I'm Matthew McCarthy, the CEO of Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream, which is owned by Unilever. He joins me from Burlington, Vermont. Matthew, it is good to see you. Ben & Jerry's, of course, is one of the most environmentally, I was going to say sound, secure, whatever. You're well known for this. You're at the stage now of really focusing down on things like plastic packaging and the various minor ingredients that go into it. How much more have you got to do until you're happy with your environmental credentials?
Richard, thanks for having me. It's good to see you again, and it's an honor to be included here. The fact of the matter is we haven't done enough, and we need to do a lot more faster here at Ben & Jerry's. So I'm proud of the things that we have done over the past few decades, but the reality is we still have a long way to go to reduce our direct carbon impact as a business. And part of that's in scope 1 and scope 2, the things that we directly control, like our energy and our power consumption. We've made good progress there. But the biggest part of our carbon impact as a company is actually on the farms, through the cows, through enteric emissions. And there's a lot more work that we need to be doing to reach our own science-based goals at Ben & Jerry's.
Isn't the problem that if you're going to make ice cream, unless it's non-dairy, you're going to need milk? If you're going to need milk, you're going to need cows. And we've seen the numbers from agriculture, from methane and the like. I don't know, Matthew, how you get around that problem.
It's something that's been with a long time for us. And what I would tell you is that it's not easy. And that's why I don't want to sugarcoat it. I think speaking to it directly, what I would say is that we've put a pretty strong science-based targets for ourselves to reduce our carbon intensity across our business. We want to have a 40% reduction in the next few years, and by 2050, basically have almost 100% reduction on business. The way that we do that is actually, we've been taxing ourselves at Ben & Jerry's. We've had our own carbon tax, and we use those funds specifically to invest in new technologies to actually reduce carbon intensity and total emissions on the farm. So getting to zero, very difficult, but there's a lot of stuff that we can do. And there's also a lot of new technologies that we're investing in, Richard, to actually work with our farmers to do that.
I'll come back to climate in a minute. I do need to just obviously ask you about the current Middle East and indeed the policy that you have now with the Palestinian territories and with Israel. Are you planning to change your policy there, bearing in mind the Israeli reaction to the decision not to sell in the territories?
Richard, I appreciate you asking about that. That's not something I'm here to talk about today. I really want to talk about climate and stay focused on this. I think it's a pivotal moment for us and for business leaders to be talking about climate, especially with what's happening at the COP right now.
I'll allow you the dignity of that, and with the assurance, of course, that you'll come back and talk about these other matters afterwards. Finally, on ice cream, the way in which you're going to move forward, I guess what the message I hear from you is some improvement is better than none. We get there when we can.
No, Richard, that's not the message at all. The message is that I'm really excited to see some of the things that are happening at COP with companies, with countries taking action. But I'm going to build on what Alan Shope said. Companies have to be stepping forward. If we as business leaders, to have the privilege of leading businesses and to not take aggressive action, we're frankly never going to get there. So policy is absolutely essential to level the playing field. And frankly, businesses that are not committing and those that are actually fighting against Build Back Better plan, that are fighting against some of these policies, they're in the way of climate change. They're in the way of fighting climate change on the business. And frankly, I think this is an area where I think the data is quite clear. Our consumers don't really trust CEOs on climate. They trust the science. And so I think adopting science-based targets, and something really cool happened last Friday. The Science-Based Target Organization basically said they started to put a definition around what net zero means. And so it's really important that all companies reduce their carbon intensity and have a plan to reduce it. The Science-Based Target Organization said that you have to reduce carbon by 90%, and you can use offsets as a way to get that last small amount. So I think this is an exciting moment, but it's not about get there when you can. It's about putting aggressive policies in place and really actually pushing for legislation.
We need to come to Vermont and present Quest Means Business from your factory, which we will do the moment you're invited.
I'd love that.
Thank you, sir.